We are doing it. Welcome. Astrology and Alchemy. You guys, man, Mary isn't feeling well. She sends her love. As we were sharing last week, guys, we'll let the commercial play. Wherever you're joining us from, welcome. We told you last week that we'd be feeling some wooziness, some solar flares, some craziness as the Mercury goes retrograde. I'm feeling it. Are you feeling it, Matt?
Yeah, as I shared ahead of time. So we're gonna power through today, but I feel like crap. So
We're
we're gonna
in
do
our
okay.
water and a coffee. We're doing it. And that's a big part of some of that shift. You guys, that, if you're feeling it, it's not just barometric pressure, it's a lot of the astrological movements as well. And man, are there some big ones. When I think of Jupiter, when I think of it moving and moving from water and emotions into fire, Jupiter into Aries today. We talked about how that is velocity, that is calm, that's chill daddy, that's windows and doors opening. So be aware, but like vestibular, like nausea, for real, for real. So maybe you're feeling it. If you are, let us know. But welcome, Astrology and Alchemy, whether it's on Odyssey Radio or the Paranormal Channel or YouTube or Facebook. Ruth, Pepper, they all say, yep, we feel it. Feeling it? That just means we're not in a simulation, right? Because if I was, I didn't order this. Or maybe our little avatar is sick. We don't know. But pollen, allergies, the shift, aliens, the apocalypse, all of it. It's here, but we're moving through it. When is it going to start feeling better? We're going to know. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's just start moving through it. Let's just focus and barrel through into what is going to be every week we start hump day. That's right. It's the middle of the week. It's going to be hump day. The moon is still in my favorite sign, Virgo. But dun 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 dun, opposite Mars in Pisces. So, moon in Virgo opposite Mars in Pisces. I know what immediately comes to my face, which is a snarl, but Matt, why might that be?
Yeah, I'm curious why you get the snarl here. So opposite is so tension.
Hmm.
So there's and it can be opposites attract. So this is just a tension between your emotions. Said it last week. Moon in Virgo, so that's wanting detail. So your emotions, you're going to want the details of things. And it's going to have tension with Mars, which is action, activity, and Pisces is this self-sacrificial, take one for the team, introspective space. So you're going to want details, but it's going to have take. So I view this as emotionally, you're going to want details on how things are going to affect you, but the overall actions tomorrow are going to be a more communal. So it's kind of this big thing is going to happen like on a team basis. It's going to be all these actions are going to be a more kind of global, take one for the team, big, broad space. But emotionally, you're going to worry about what's in it for me, but you aren't going to necessarily want to like put that out there because you're going to look self-centered. So it's like you're going to have this tension between, yeah, I'm on board with all this stuff that's going on, but I'm really worried about how this is going to affect me. But if I ask too many questions about this, it's going to make me look like I'm too self-centered. So it's this tension between the team, the tribe, and my own self-interest.
Team and self-interest are the theme. Sacrifice. Paying the price for what? Give me your tears, gypsy woman. Like, I'm wondering what it is that people will be investing in as many questions came through to the Astrology and Alchemy Facebook and through the social media sites. We are between these eclipses, which I totally feel and see as a Stretch Armstrong, that pulling. And I really don't like to see fire and water. I think of it like when I'm, frying potatoes and then you put your lid on to kind of get that moisture and then the moisture, flops onto the skillet and and it makes this big mess. And I kind of feel like when Mars is in Pisces, we get that fiery, you know what? Oh, well, guess what? It's like very emotional, subjective, which by the way, for those people joining me in the neurolinguistic programming, we're talking about feel or the definition of feel. And I feel like that's really relevant, especially with the moon, those feelings, and Virgo, earth. So it's like so much yin, so much introverted, so much yin energy that it's going to continue to be overthinking and overfeeling. And the great pull, what should I do? Career or retire? Go here or go there? Do this or do that? It's like these, you know, ah, man, if you're listening and you can't see me, that's probably going to sound really crazy. But yeah, it's just a really interesting energy. And it's going to, what was that? It's going to engage. That sounded like a crash in my house.
You have a poltergeist.
I have a poltergeist, but I also have children. As long as everyone's okay, I didn't hear screaming. So that just means something's broken and I don't have to worry about it until after this podcast is over. This is my moment to not be a mom. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Anyway, let's go into
I was
Thursday.
just say fire and water create steam, so it's like it takes the emotion and it kicks it into air. So it takes that emotional stuff and it forces it out into verbal.
Think of like getting
So
in a hot shower.
whatever emotion is there in that water, the fire actually makes it come out into verbal stuff.
Yeah, I think about like expelling your mucus because you got some eucalyptus, which by the way, put between towels and roll with a rolling pin if you're picking it up and then putting it in your shower. I suggest doing, by the way. Open that steam so that you can do all that. It's like getting all of that junk out. There's going to be a barter, there's going to be a communing, there's going to be some interesting things happening tomorrow. And that's only a Wednesday. But before the Great Friday the 13th, the moon will move on Thursday, the 12th. So we have to address that, especially now that I know everyone's okay. Whew, and it passes, right? Pepper says, do you have dogs? I have a dog, so it could always be that too. But on Thursday, the 12th, the moon will enter into Libra. Ooh, Libra out of Virgo? Come on, man. That's okay. It's okay. But what does that mean?
Diplomacy and balance.
Hmm.
So now it's emotions into balance, making sure everything's fair, kind of a little indecisive, but not wanting to be too picky or unfair. It's diplomatic. It's wanting everything nice. There's a little bit of passive aggressive to it though. So I always say it's like invite you over for dinner, feed you the nice dinner, and then say, oh, by the way, I have the stuff that needs to be moved. Do you mind helping me? By the way,
While you're
by the way, did you like that dinner? Was that really good? Do you mind helping me move this?
Yeah, while you're here, can you carry this out for me? Dang. That's okay. We don't mind doing that, right? If it's family, I guess. But yeah, I think of the Libra. I think of the balancing. I think of like Lady Justice. I think of recently I was in Kansas City and outside of the Federal Reserve building. Woman there holding the pomegranate, holding the cane, holding the things, and blindfolded. And I was like, ooh, this is kind of that Libra space, making sure that things are fair. Don't make rash decisions, being aware that there's going to be some mood swings on this day. What are you weighing? What is like worth, I would say, is going to probably be really important shadow work on Thursday, especially, I say that, knowing what is going to be following on the next day. Because again, the astrology, it allows us to have that psychic intuition that's almost unfair. It's almost unfair when someone says, how are you so accurate? Or how did you get the accuracy and confidence? Or how do you combat skepticism? Science, research, continued writing things down, journaling it, predicting it, seeing it happen, having correlations, understanding it. It's not a causation, but you begin to see these patterns, micro and macro. Astrology is a big part of it, how things are moving. Friday, the 13th. Matt, are you superstitious?
No, not really.
What? Really? Host
Not
of the
really.
Sunday Night
A little
Dead?
bit. Little bit, but not like I'm not real. A little bit.
Gosh dang it, I am so superstitious. I usually always get into a car accident on Friday the 13th, and I try not to drive on that day. Do you know what I mean? Dang. Dang. Katie, I'm
I'm going
sorry.
on a big. I'm leaving on a trip on Friday, so I must not
What?
be too superstitious.
Okay, yeah, don't be. It's going to be a great day for travel, though, I think. I usually have great luck on Friday, says Pepper. And then Katie is asking a really interesting question live in our chat room. So I'm going to address that as I post what's happening on Friday the 13th. Oh, man. The moon is in Libra still. Okay. But it's trine, Saturn in Aquarius, Aquarius. What does that mean?
I'm getting all this kumbaya energy, which is really weird with what's going on in the world. So it's
Yeah.
these last what you said so far. So Saturn's rules restrictions, but Aquarius is the rebel rule breaker. So I've said since this has been in this group that this is the opportunity to break the rules, change the rules, and trying a synergy. And I already said Moon in Libra is this diplomatic energy. So I see this as emotional diplomacy synergy on rule changing. So this is negotiation. This is trying to change, wheel and deal, changing some rules, negotiating something. So something's going to be on the table to get negotiated on Friday.
Ooh, a new negotiation
There'll
on
be
the
some
table.
negotiations on the
Is it
macro and the micro. So look on the small things. People might want to be hashing things out, negotiating with you on Friday, and then look in the news for possibly some kind of deal trying to get worked out or some kind of negotiation getting done. So
which, I'm going to say goo for dust for my witches out there. Crossroads magic, contracts. Get your nibs and feathers out, friends, and know what you're signing. What are you signing away? What are you restraining yourself or liberating yourself to and from? Things on Friday, the 13th, will be meaningful, I do believe, especially. I think that those, when you said macro politically and watching in the news, this is new marriages, divorces. This might, I was like, man, this could be a peace treaty. And I was like, no. My intuition said no on that, but there is going to be something of some kind of a contract. Gosh dang it, we saying things today, moving more troops in, but that's a whole nother show. So that Saturn and Aquarius for Friday, I would say might be some of the like, was this fair? Is this vetoed? Is something going to shift? And then we back it out even more into what has been written in the stars for Saturday. Here we go.
man, we're flying.
We are
I'm excited
flying.
already.
Maybe I should slow down. Did I?
Yeah, it's
It
all
could be
good.
me. Did I
Might be
answer
because
that question?
we both feel like crap. So
Well, we're just staying focused. And we are. Many people in the chat room are mentioning that focus on Roe versus Wade, maybe things shifting in that way. Also, transportation superstitions. That's really going to be related to the Mercury retrograde that went into action today, this morning. Yeah. And Jupiter and Aries today on fire, light it on fire. So that I think is going to create some of that hectic superstition and just like make sure you're backing your stuff up, make sure you're writing it down, make sure you're double checking, make sure that when you go out to the car and forget your keys inside and then go back and then forget your wallet and you're doing it 4 times. Everybody in the world is going through this, and half of the people are going to freak out and punch walls and ruin their shit. Let it not be me.
I think I mentioned last week. I think I said that
Mm.
the Jupiter and Aries thing, this is like jackass energy. So this is just, yeah, you just see people just doing
Take 3.
impulsive, not well thought out crap just for the hell of doing it.
What was that? You just got to laugh. It's the jester. Hold on, I got my coffee. Look. It's either going to make me feel a whole lot better. It's going to be better. It's going to be better. Let's stay focused. Don't lock yourself out of the house like I did, said Katie. It's this kind of stuff. Yes. And also for those people in the chat room talking about menstrual cycles and all that female stuff, that is also quite hectic right now, being in that pull of the eclipse, being in that pull of the spring. There's some crazy stuff going on, and there's a lot of that creation energy. But Saturday, guys, let's stay focused. Let's look at this domino effect. Let's predict what's going to happen for the rest of the week. Saturday, the moon moves out of Libra. Okay. Into Scorpio. Into Scorpio season we go. What does that mean?
And now we're going from fair, balanced to intense, but hidden and intense. So, I always say, like, you don't, how can I word it? Things aren't what they seem with Scorpio. It's intensity, it's emotional intensity, it's intense water, but much like a river, you see where it's flowing at the top, but that doesn't mean that the currents underneath are the same. Scorpio has a good poker face. It doesn't necessarily show where that intensity is going or what it's channeled for. They don't necessarily kind of lay their cards out. So this is emotional intensity, but it's not going to be obvious. So, yeah. Intense emotions, but hidden.
Intense and hidden. I think of, it's really strange. I immediately am getting this. My third eye is showing me, Matthew. The 13th Warrior. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It is so good. It's in my top 17. It's probably number 17. I feel like it's Antonio Banderas is in that. I can't remember who else. I don't
even remember this one.
It's amazing. So the reason this is even relevant, the fire verm. He is this Arabian polyglot who is going between cultures, and he is, kind of a shaman-like guy, and he gets outcast because he slept with somebody's daughter, I believe. But anyway, he gets outcast. He gets picked up by and they're like, "Welcome, person." And in the witch is like, "A 13th person from the outside will show the way." And they're like, "That's him." And they all spit in a bowl and share the water, and some really strange things happen. But they go to a village where there's torches. And in that village, people are being eaten in the night by this thing, and they don't know what it is. And it's the other, rival clan, and they dress up as these creatures, and they are cannibalistic and pretty crazy. And the 13th Warrior is really good. There's kind of a love story involved. There's really good fight scenes and a lot of superstition. But the fire verm, you think it's a superstitious thing. You think it's this fire thing that comes down in the mountain and it moves in the mist. It's very cool. It's very well done. But it's actually just people maneuvering with the wind and maneuvering with the mist and being able to masquerade themselves in a way that utilizes the unknown. They know, but there's a scene in that movie where the 13th Warrior, they're all waiting for the fire verm and the big warriors to come at night. And he's laying there and he's shaking, and his sword is shaking on his chest plate. And the Viking next to him looks over and he goes, "Go to sleep." And he's like, "How can you sleep at a time like this when death is coming down the mountain?" And he goes, "Oh, my friend, death will find you if you're sleeping or not. And I'd forgive my..." And he looks around, and all the Vikings are sleeping like babies. They're not afraid. And it's just a really interesting moment about the fear of the unknown and how it is manipulated by man and how you can overcome it in just a mindset. And I say this because it's relevant in the solar eclipse space. It's relevant as things shift inward and in Scorpio vibes. When you go camping, you're going to be in Arizona. You got to prepare for scorpions. How the hell do you do that? How the hell do you do that? You could either be paranoid and check every little thing, or you're just going to wake up and you're going to have it in your fucking sock. You know what I mean? And you can't hear them coming. They don't come in a swarm. Here come the scorpions. Look out. I mean, it's not that way. It's hard to prepare or prevent. It's just, you just have to live. You just have to live. And so when I feel that momentum in the consciousness of Scorpio energy, I'm like, ugh, it's ominous, but there's nothing you can do about it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a rant. Anyway, check it out if you like fighting movies. Kevin Costner days, Antonio Banderas days. But let's keep moving because that's the only thing that happens on Saturday. That's the only thing that's happening. So you don't have to get crazy. The moon's just going to enter into Scorpio. That'll be a fun night. Do some scrying maybe. Sunday, 2 things happen on Sunday, and they're not necessarily things that I like. The first one, we'll take it. The first one is, let me post it in the chat room for those of you so you get like a 2-second head start. Here it is, 2-second head start. The sun will be in Taurus, and it's squaring off with Saturn and Aquarius. Those rules again in that air sign. What does it mean, Matthew? What does it mean?
So squares conflict. So we have changing the rules in conflict with our main core energy wanting to be stable and indulgent. So this is maybe coming out of that whole negotiation on Friday and wanting to change things and negotiate things. Now on Sunday, it's like, okay, let's go ahead and work out these changes. What do we want to do? And you just want to sit on the sofa and chill out. And I don't want to change the world right now. I don't want to change anything. I just want to sit around and eat pizza and watch Netflix. So screw it. I ain't changing anything.
Energy. Potential energy. When I think of potential versus kinetic energy, when I think of all the little kids planting trees, finishing up the school year, Earth Day just passed, and I have really enjoyed seeing all the art fairs and things on social media, people sharing their little kids, learning about how to save the planet. I know my son is, don't do that. We could save the planet. I want to go pick up trash. I want to do this. Did you realize, like he's telling me all these facts, but this awareness is good. And that Saturn in Aquarius, man, I can't change the world today, but what do I want to change? Potential.
Slacker versus activist. That's what this is.
Oh, man. Think about how that's going to play out. It's going to be funny. Slacker versus activist. I really like that. I've got to put that in parentheses. Which one are you? Which one will you be?
I can go between the two. I've probably been a little more on the slacker.
I probably will. Look you've got stuff falling at your house too.
Yeah, we have stuff crashing here.
Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, it's all fine. Good.
You're not alone. Just sip our coffee. There's no fly in it, is there? God damn. No, there's not. Okay. Here we go. Okay. There's one more thing that's going to happen on Sunday. Sunday. And you know how I feel when I make this face. If you're listening on Odyssey, you don't get to see it. There will be videos soon. But right now, it's just wherever you listen or podcast. But look. That's my face because, gosh dang it. The sun will be in Taurus. And it's going to be sextile. You know what that means. Neptune in Pisces.
Your favorite.
I freaking hate Neptune in Pisces. I freaking hate it. That just means overdoses. That means suicides. That social services. Get ready to get a cons.
Yeah, it's a bad. You're kind of buffering, but this is a bad combo here because sextile is eliminate obstacles too. So we already said that this is stable and indulgent. So we're going to indulge and Neptune's that deceptiveness, dreamy. Pisces that intuitive. So you already said it's kind of this like overdose indulgent type. So yeah, this is indulging in kind of detaching from reality. So yeah, this is kind of a overdose space and just indulging in things that aren't good, detaching from reality, escaping from reality, whatever that can be. That can be just chilling out on the that can be chilling out on the sofa and doing a Lord of the Rings marathon, or that could be dropping a bunch of acid and jumping off your roof. I mean, it could be.
I am a golden
Yeah, I
god.
mean, the
We're gonna lose
possibilities are quite broad.
Where does the sky end? Why ask why? To what end? This is Hunter S. Thompson. I get Hunter S. Thompson talking to me. Figure that out.
I could see that.
This is a Sunday. And there we were outside of Barstow. It's like, it's a really wild energy.
Yeah.
I see that neon glasses. I see the jelly shoes. This is, I do, which by the way, I have a really bad experience with my jelly shoes where I was like sneaking behind my neighbor's house where they had piled up some old boards and they had a carpenter nail where it was screw on the end and I stepped on it and it went through my big toe, little toe right there in that soft spot. But I was wearing the jelly shoes. They were pink with glitter. They were my favorite. And I tried to pull my foot off and I couldn't because the screw was stuck in the jelly on the top and I had to go get my dad and he had to cut the bottom of the nail off and pull it through that way, and my jelly shoes were ruined. Yeah, that's Neptune and Pisces for you.
There you go.
I hope that didn't cut out because that's serious.
No, you did not. You did not buffer.
Man, that's what's gonna. These are the kind of, and these are yeah. Anyway, so take a step back even further. Monday. Crazy weekend, huh? I know. Some people didn't make it. I know. I was up all night. Monday. What? Here we go. Full moon? What? Oh, yeah, no. It's a full moon and a lunar eclipse. So that's a full moon on steroids. And what sign is it, though? And what sign? Scorpio. Dun, dun, dun. It's going to be amazing. What does it
Yep.
mean? Tell us what it means.
That's like the. I always say it's like the James Bond energy. It's that it's intense. It's the most intense. I think it's the most intense sign. It's not what you see. It's I already covered it earlier when we had the moon things in here, and so just the fact that you have the full energy in this and the eclipse energy, so there's going to be a lot of emotional intensity. It's on a Monday though, so at least it's not over the weekend. So yeah, a lot of intense emotions on Monday. So be ready for that. Be ready for. Be wary and pay very much attention to communications and things because remember things aren't what they seem. So the Scorpio energy, people might be putting feelers out, be asking you questions, trying to get out information, but like it's not going to be they're not going to be showing their cards. So just be aware because there's going to be a lot of intensity. So there's going to be, I think, a lot of like probing and trying to figure things out. And it's that spy energy, I say.
And I think of Eddie Murphy. I also think of what I ask out to the ether. What movie did we just recently watch with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd? Oh, the ether's not listening to me. Spies Like Us, the very original one, where it's Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase. And
Yeah, I think that is. I think that, yeah.
It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so inappropriate. It's so funny though. That sleight of hand, the showing your cards and just kind of knowing what you have in your hand, but also that you can have absolutely nothing in your hand and still come out ahead. like that. Someone said do jazz hands. I also think of spirit fingers and the difference between um, Chicago. It is kind of like Chicago. Ooh, if you've seen the movie Chicago, the pop in your gum, that full moon and Scorpio with a lunar eclipse. He had it coming. He had it coming. You know what I mean? It's going to be, man, on a Monday. I don't know who's going to die, who's going to get assassinated. Let's go ahead. Let's make a prediction. We've got a little bit of time. We got a little bit of time and a lot of bit of nausea. Let's make a prediction. What do you think? Who's it going to be? I mean, full moon energy. Something's got to happen. It's also going to be kind of that stretching is going to stop. There's going to be a big relief, like, oh. And of course, that's always when.
Yeah, and that'll be a it'll be
unexpected.
Be a suicide on Sunday. It'll be a murder on Monday.
Ooh, suicide on Sunday, murder on a Monday. Who's it gonna be? It's not something to laugh about.
I always hate throwing people name.
I work in forensics, so I'm okay laughing about it. I'm not laughing about it in that way.
No, not laughing about it. I hate
No.
predicting people are gonna die.
We don't predict these things so much as just they seem to come to fruition. They seem to, it's really, we look at the stars and you can almost feel it. You can see it. And man, we've been pretty accurate in the last year. We've been doing this for almost a year now and being just like, let's just say it. And we say it and like Roe versus Wade will be overturned. What? We said that last year. And then we repeated on our year's predictions, man, down to the.
You mentioned the Trump thing. I still think I think Trump is going to be a stroke, but I don't think that's going to be in the summer. I think late June, like early July.
Yeah, July. We were thinking.
Man, he'll be fine. He'll recover, but he's so vain that he's not going to want to be on camera talking with half his face paralyzed. So he's going to drop out of the public eye.
Oh, my heart just sank because I felt who I think I like celebrity wise who's going to be going. I do. My chest got really heavy and I don't even want to say it because it's a female that I really enjoy. So I won't say it because I do believe in manifestation. I'll send it to you privately. But those of you out there, I'm going to say this is going to be like a positive role model. Kind of like how we had Betty White, where it's like, dang, we really liked her. Why'd she have to go, Betty? But you're like, it was also kind of her time. We recently had Reba. Was it Reba McIntyre? Who was it?
No, one of the Judd.
Judd. I'm so sorry, guys. It's been a long week, and I'm not a big celebrity person, okay? But I'm thinking like one of these kind of people, really positive, kind of forward. I don't know.
Well, I think the Monday thing, I don't think that's going to be a celebrity, but I think there's going to be some kind of weird serial killer or mass. There's going to be something. It's going to be a creepy, something that'll end up on Netflix in a couple of years is going to happen on Monday.
By the way, Matthew, you're over there. I never eat soggy wheat. You're on the soggy. You're on the east. You're on the East Coast. There's a serial killer up there by you in the New Hampshire area. Have you been seeing that in the news?
No.
I heard it was not in the news and that you guys have a serial killer.
Okay. Well, New Hampshire's pretty far, so I'll have to look that up, but that's pretty far from me. But
I know, but you know how it is when we're over here in Minnesota. I'm just like, you're over there in that part of the country. Anyway, it just kind of, because again, I work in forensics, so it just kind of came across. Someone else said, I'm glad we don't have a foot fungus jungle. What? No, we don't have a foot fungus. We have a bird flu. We got some other stuff going on. Man, we have crazy things happening. Who knows for certain? Only the stars. But let's kind of keep somewhat focused here. This is just Monday. And one more thing is going to happen on Monday night. So Monday morning starts with that full moon. Wake up, meditation, coffee. It's full moon. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a passionate. It's going to be an emotional day. It's going to be a great day to kind of guard yourself and what you say. But then that night, we're going to go to bed. We're going to lay to our head to our pillow, and the moon is going to move. into Sagittarius, which I actually think is a good thing. But Matt, tell us what to expect with that movement.
Well, that's emotions in, it's kind of the explorer, so it's the sure, why not? So this is now, we're going from that hidden intensity to kind of explore, let's try it, let's go. So now it's a more emotional openness to try things. So people are going to be more open to trying new things Monday. So more heading into Tuesday though. So if you want to ask somebody to do something, ask them on Tuesday. They'll be more
Yeah.
emotionally open to it.
Well, and I think of when I'm thinking of openness, I mean, there's a lot of that with Sagittarius that's fire. And so when I think of an openness with fire and how you kind of keep that in a boundary, how you take risk without burning everything down, what would you say is the best way to move with the moon in Sagittarius? People feeling like they're ready. Think twice.
Yeah. So I'm always like, don't let the energy, I'm always like, be intentional with your moves. So don't let like the current, just move you, be intentional. So I would always pause before you move, because if you're going to have this like nudge to just go ahead and try something, you want to be intentional with what you do and what you try. So pause and just make sure the things you're doing are done with intent and not just be going with the flow.
That fire can be very destructive, or you can use it to burn yourself a path, create yourself dinner. It can be very, very useful. It can also eat you and burn you from the inside, which I think will be kind of interesting, especially because that will bring us full circle to Tuesday, which is kind of hard to believe, right? It's like, dang, we're already at Tuesday. It's true. And it's only 9:37, which I kind of like, again, having a little bit of time at the end to answer any questions, you guys. So be sure and have those ready. But next Tuesday, it'll be a full moon, full week, so much happening. What's it going to be? How's it going to end? Ah, the moon in Sagittarius still, but trine Venus in Aries. Plot twist.
We haven't had Venus in a while.
Right. Sexy vagina sensuality.
This would be a good one to hit on the weekend. So, but this is an interesting one, because this is emotional openness, willingness to try something, with kind of love and romance in that impulsive. We're not going to think things through, and we're just going to act without thinking on impulse. So this is, once again, I think I've said this a lot. Obviously, this is hook up or like one night stand energy, but it's on a Wednesday. So
Tuesday.
Tuesday. It's on a
Yeah.
Tuesday.
That May
So
17th, which when I think of the 17th, I always think of like St. Patrick's Day. I'm thinking of the 17th. I'm thinking how that's just slightly after payday, the middle of the month. It will kind of like really be the middle of May, since May is pretty long and we have so many things happening this month. And it'll have been a really crazy week. Some people will be grieving that sensuality, that Venus and Aries, that fire. I think of The Wedding Crashers and how it ends with them crashing funerals. such, such a ridiculous movie. Will Ferrell and yelling at his mom for the meatloaf. This is careful love, kind of manic versus eros. If you are someone who likes to dabble in energy and alchemy, knowing how to separate fire. What do you mean separate fire? Well, how to stoke a fire, how to use coals, how to use the embers, how to have the friction work for you and not, up your hand and giving you calluses, but like, how do you work with it? How do you allow it to go out and not in? It's going to be extremely interesting on Monday and Tuesday. It'd be so wild. That full moon, that eclipse, in combination with that Venus shift. It's going to be pretty interesting. So, what predictions and thoughts do you have for kind of the week ahead, Matt?
it seems counterintuitive, but I think this is going to be at least in the first half of it, it's kind of like this kumbaya energy. So I think there's going to be a lot of energy for common ground and negotiations and some dealings in the first part of the week, and then coming out of the weekend into the early part of the of next week with that kind of intense energy that's coming out of it. I think we're going to have some bad news. I think there's going to be some deaths and some bad stuff coming out of it. So first part of the week, positive, constructive, diplomatic. Back part of the week, some dark shit's going to happen.
Dun, dun, dun. Some dark shit's going to happen. Just be prepared. What I love is that I would say preventatively, what do we think? You know, we had shared last week, we expected some crazy weather. We sure saw that. We also shared with you in that solar eclipse space and in some of the emotional polls that there would be some big life-changing information brought to into your lives. For some people, that was like major health things. I know for me, that was like my sister having a stroke. Like big life changes that kind of affected us greatly. And now with we're
She
going to
really
have a
froze.
great sense. Oh, did I really?
Yeah, you
I'm
keep
just
breaking
not
up.
allowed to talk about the moon. Dang. I hope not. I'm sorry, guys. It's
It's all good.
Mercury retrograde. Okay. But we have officially 10 minutes. So from where people can find us. If you would like to send us a private question, if you would like a reading, if you would like a Friday the 13th reading, I'm doing those for $13. Matt and I are doing an amazing special for the full moon and for these eclipses. Like, what major life transformative things are you doing? They're $50. You guys message us, please, if you would like a reading. If you're going through something, I will put the stuff in the chat room. But put in the chat what questions you have, and we will address them here in these last few minutes.
Yep. And
What
we
do we
have
got?
got two requests for cards and one question.
Ooh, okay. Well, then
So
let's.
Katie was
Who's
first for
doing
the
it?
Katie was
Katie,
first for the card. So do you have a deck there?
I do. I've got my Tarot del Toro. Goodness gracious, you guys, it is pretty graphic. So let's just be prepared. It's okay. Don't be offended.
So Katie, think about your question. I got mine. You got yours?
I've got mine.
All right. So Katie, I got for you strength.
Really?
Yeah, what did you get?
King of Pentacles, King of Earth.
Oh wow.
So patriarch of the earth energies is like that Capricorn, that really powerful. I like it. He looks like a tiki god. He's got this really cool Viking shield, very powerful. I mean, very masculine, very strong. The king I always take as a strong energy. And when I'm thinking of Capricorn, I'll admit it is usually very masculine. It's it's patriarchal, it is aware, it is protection of the home, and it's a really good thing for investment and money. And I think it's a great pair with the strength. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think I personally think I guess people can interpret differently, but I think strength's pretty self-explanatory. So it's just so this is positive. It's I don't know what your question was, but I would say that the strength is within you, and so you have it's a positive and affirming thing that you have the ability and the strength within you to resolve whatever your question was.
You have it within you. Okay,
Pepper,
Pepper.
think of your question, Pepper.
I've got my card.
Okay, hang on. Got one.
I really like the image on it. So if you are joining us and watching the video live, think about what images or think about what intuitions you're getting. What do you have for Pepper? What card do you have, Matt?
Funny, because Katie said, "Thank God no swords," because I got Queen of Swords.
And I got the Ace of Cups or the Ace of Goblets in this deck. So you have the Queen of Swords. I always think of Lagatha from Vikings. I think of a very capable and strong woman, a matriarch that is not one to be effed with because she will bite your face off. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's someone you're dealing with.
It's the one queen that is not married to the king. So the Queen of Swords is not married to the King of Swords, and it is I always use her too as it is the person that gives you the frank, objective advice, even if you don't want to hear it. So it's one that's going to tell you what you need to hear, even if you really don't want to hear it.
Crazy. And that Ace of Goblets or Ace of Cups, Ace of the Vessel. Ace is the beginning. It's the spark. It's the spirit bead. And it's that initial spark, that mustard seed, if you will, of earth. Not earth, water. Water because it's a vessel. Water because it's cups. Water because it's water. That's emotion. That's intuition. The beginning of a relationship. The beginning of an intuitive. The beginning of a, you know what, I kind of feel like the beginning of something that you should follow through with because it feels right and it is based with passion and desire. Very cool. An exciting project. Who is next?
Do you see Dee's question? I was thinking maybe we pick cards for it.
I did not see Dee's question, but that doesn't necessarily change me pulling
I
a card.
see Dee's question. I don't want to necessarily publish Dee's question, but I'm going to pull a card for Dee's question. So.
Okay, so let's pull a card for D. And again, for those of you listening, if you're listening on video or on your favorite podcast app, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, you can listen to us on Astrology and Alchemy every Tuesday. And you can also find us on Wednesday. We're streaming every week. And you can get a hold of mslosier at Yahoo, paranormalsarah.com, or Astrology and Alchemy on Facebook. Find us. Here we go, D. Ooh, I've got my card for you. Ooh.
You go first.
It is a sword.
It's in here.
And it's the Knight. So the Knight of Swords, this is the masculine forward, the Knight, dun, 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 going out, gonna fight, gonna do it. But you know what? The Knight is capable. If you want Lancelot, I mean, look at this dude. Come on, he's an SS soldier. I actually have that entire outfit down to the necklace. That's a Templar necklace. He's like got some really, I have that hat, I have that mask, I have that jacket. I do not have the pale horse, but I like that even the horse has a gas mask. This is pretty powerful. This is, you know what, I'm going out to battle and I'm ready and I'm going to do it. But it is indicative of a pretty big battle ahead. What about you?
I think we're in sync here. It's just I got 9 of Swords, which I always take as mental stress. So I take this as to your question without announcing your question here. I view this isn't a no. It's just I feel like you're not going to get a clear answer. So this is going to continue to weigh on your mind for the near future. So as much as I would love to give you a clear answer one way or the other, I interpret this as it's going to remain a little undecided for a while. So I apologize for that, but that's what I got.
Interesting. We have such amazing and wild questions in the chat room coming from all areas. I just really love it. And you guys, please, if we don't get to you, do not hesitate to reach out and let us know if you would like a reading and to join us on our social media. We often will join in on late night, just random check-ins and do readings.
I want to start doing that more often.
We do. Yeah. And I'm going to be doing it more.
Start doing cards.
Dolly said, "Who stole my husband's wedding ring?" Man. Not to throw Kathy under the bus, but I'm getting a Kathy. I'm getting a Catherine. I'm getting a Kathy.
Pull a card.
I'm getting somebody with a THY. Which sign is retrograde in? Mercury currently is in retrograde.
Who stole the ring? I got this 6 of Swords, and that's kind of the runaway to help, running off with someone. So if someone ran off in that situation with your husband, so if somebody was in your husband's situation and left with somebody else, they took the ring with them.
And I got the Sun, which I think of somebody close by, someone in the center, someone not to be like, it's a family member, but somebody who might have even have been in the house that you let in, that you gave permission. Oh, that will be interesting. Let us know when you find it.
We had one more request. Ruth asked for one too. I think
Ruth, absolutely, Ruth. We love that you join us almost every week. Thank you guys for all of you who return weekly, and for those of you who are new, bring a friend next time. Ruth, I got a card for you. Oh, okay. I'll take that card. What do you got?
I got a card that I always say is I interpret the moon. So what did you get? So I interpret the moon a little different than how some people do. I always interpret the moon as a lot of this is still unknown. So, like, whereas the sun's clarity, the moon is a lot of it's still hidden. So, what did you get?
I got the Knight of Discs, or the Knight of Earth, the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Squares. That Knight, masculine, forward, going to go out and do shit, but it's yin, it's of Earth. So this is kind of that Taurus Capricorn cusp, that energy that's like, absolutely, I'm going to invest my money and do this and do that, but it's going to be a 6-month plan. This is a strategic knight on his dragon, waiting for his dragon to get a little bit bigger, and his dragon's resting and eating his little wheel, and they're plotting and they're planning, and they are capable, but they're not fighting yet.
Right.
But this is definitely an energy that's ready.
And I was gonna say, Dee nailed it, where she said something's hidden, lies, or deception. That's what it like. The moon. There's parts to this that. So I always view this as there's parts to what here that you're not going to see. There's parts that are going to remain hidden from you, even in this answer. So whether it is deception or just the information is going to be kept from you, you're not going to get the whole picture in this answer.
I love the moon. I love moon energy. I think when cultures are telling you to go inward, or the psychoanalysis, I mean, being in forensic psych, obviously I have a little bit of a bias, but I love those inward things. I love that reflection. So that's going to be an interesting time. Paz says, do mine, do me. Do we have time for one more?
It's 52. You tell me.
Man, we can't. We're down to the minute, guys. But that doesn't mean that I won't do it on social media. So share us in the comments, and share us below, guys, and I will follow up. I know so will Matt. We'll touch base with you. Hopefully you're feeling well, but join us next Tuesday here on Astrology and Alchemy.
All right. We will talk to you soon.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.